Today I'm going to be working on my own Jeep. It's a Jeep Liberty 2002. If you look over here, I probably can do the camera part from here of what we're going to be doing. If you look over here inside the engine, when the ball joint came loose and the wheel dropped, the coolant reservoir, okay, it either busted or one of the hoses are loose or busted. So what we're going to do today is we're going to fix that. We're going to check it. We're going to take it apart. You're going to need a jack, a lug wrench that's going to take off the wheel, and I always use a jack stand for safety. Put that under there for when for when it's in the air, so if it falls on the stand and not on your head, because round heads look better than flat heads. Okay, anyways, the first thing I'm going to do, if you want to take back over the recording, watch the finger hole. A lot of, if you can get this in close, a lot of people, like mechanics and everything, and I'm a beginner, by the way, I'm not an expert, so could be, you guys could laugh, but what I'm going to do is, this little rivet that's here has no way to really come off, and on every video I've seen, they've drilled this off with a drill bit, and then, you know, they've used a regular bolt and socket to put back on. So what I found I'm going to try is, if you take this off and you look over here, there is a little loop that I'm going to try to bend outward and to get this plastic over the slip, and then that way I won't have to drill it. See, just kind of like that. So like I was saying, what I did is I took this little loop and pushed forward, which is nothing but a regular screwdriver. I know this is an old screwdriver. It's a flathead. And I pulled it forward and got it over this neck of the reservoir here. It's a lot better, I think, than drilling down into there. So what I'm going to do next now is to make sure that these lugs are all loose. I'm going to get them loose before I jack the car into the air. Easy peasy. And then sounds like Uncle Rob. Anyways, jack this into the air ever so easily. Hopefully you'll have a flatter surface than me, because this isn't exactly level. Anyways, you want to make sure that the tire is off the ground, and then you put the jack stand underneath. And that's for if this thing falls, no one gets hurt. Only takes an extra couple seconds to be safe. Now, the next part of the operation, what we're going to do, the reason why I'm taking this tire off, I'll show you in just a second. Put the lug nuts here. You want to be sure not to lose them. Looks like I need the lug wrench one more time. this off. I'm going to lay it underneath here. Then, yummy. Okay. What we're going to do is the shielding around the wheel well here. It has to come off so that I can access the reservoir, which is up in here. According to the internet, it can just be popped off, just like that. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Is just pop this off. Okay, I popped that one off. Now, if you look under here, this is the, might want to go back a little bit so they can, this is the, you got it zoomed in. That right there is the reservoir for the windshield washer fluid. I'm gonna go ahead and take that out because the only thing keeping it from coming out up at the top was that plastic piece. You have the motor that which is there, and then you have the bolts, and then it just comes right on out. Alright, what I'm going to do is before I take it off, since I have access to it now, I'm going to put some water in there and see if I can see where it's leaking from. If it's just a hose or if it's on the actual plastic reservoir itself. So I'm going to go ahead and put water in there. If you want to pan down to the reservoir and see where it starts to leak.
See it coming out there at the bottom.
Okay, coming out at the bottom. Right there. All right. I don't need to take the reservoir off at all. Where the actual hole is in the reservoir pump that pumps the windshield washer fluid up to the windshield. If you look closer here, you got to get it closer to this. As it goes through this, when the tire pushed up against it, there's a little crack right here by the number 1. If you can see that kind of opened up right there at the angle. Do you see that? Okay. So we're going to have to try to fix this or buy another one. Okay, what I have done now is I've tucked some Loctite, and I found on right through here and down through here on the casing of the windshield washer fluid pump that it was cracked when the tire had come forward on the front passenger wheel well, and it kind of cracked that a little bit, not the reservoir itself. So I'm putting Loctite on there and then letting that set, and that should repair where it was leaking, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with the motor or the pump itself. And then I'm going to reassemble it and put this back on the reservoir itself, hook up the pump, the hoses, and that should fix everything. And then, you know, no need to buy another pump. But if I did need to buy another pump, I did see these in between $8 and $15 on eBay. That's just to let you guys know, if you're doing this and you don't think you can repair either the reservoir or this, in this case was the pump casing, then you can get those parts pretty cheaply, you know, on eBay or Amazon, you know, just on an online retailer site. And if you can't wait, then, you know, O'Reilly's or AutoZone. Anyways, I'm gonna let this dry and set now. Okay, Jeep Liberty 2002 3.7 liter engine, final diagnosis. After I determined that you can take these off without drilling this out if you want to. Right here's the slack in the ring, and you can use a flathead screwdriver or needle nose pliers to pull this up over the lip. Anyways, since I then got it all apart, and then I went underneath, and you have to take the wheel well cover off. Okay, in the end, what I did was I didn't have to take off the reservoir tank, which is right here. But here's the bolts, 10 millimeters if you need them, and then there's a bolt down here. What I did have to take off was this, which is the pump, because down here on the casing on the bottom of the pump where the hoses go in was busted, and now it's not. So that should fix it to go again. And it's up in here if you guys need to know where it's at. And then now I can wash my windows again. Let me show you. Hey, can you turn on the windshield washer fluid real quick? And have that, because, you know, bird poop for about a couple weeks. Oh my gosh, you guys see that? It's working again. And it's not going to say low washer fluid because I filled it up, as you can see. Don't forget to fill that up. Well, I'm going to put everything back together now. Put the tire back on, tighten the lugs, lower it down, close the hood, and go somewhere. If you have any questions or comments, just ask them. Please subscribe. I will talk to you guys later.